Describe a good neighbor. So when I read the cue card, the first thing that came into my mind was Mirziha, my neighbor in my hometown. According to my neighbor, I mean my mother's account, her husband, her family, and mine moved to the area 20 years back. So we go back a long way. She is amiable and approachable person. With children and senior citizens, she behaved very mildly, and sometimes with me, she gave me a lot of snacks and food, so that pampered me a little bit. Actually, she went through ups and downs, and um, but she always has a positive outlook on her life. Her motto is to keep moving to forward. That helped her um, like improve her life a lot. Since I still remember when her family lived in a small house, but then now she and her husband built up a largest and biggest house in our town. It shows how hard she is at her job, her work, and she tries to bond relationship with her husband and her family. For me, personality, but in my personality, she is a wonderful person. Not really good at family activities, but also in society. She has her own non-profit organization which help people who underprivileged to find a job and to take care of their baby. That that kind when they are at work. She always reminds me that I can ask her for advice and for a helping hand when I need it. When I need. So unfortunately, I moved to the Hanoi to continue my studies, so we don't have a chance to see each other often. But I always try to pay a visit to her house when I come back to my hometown. Do people live in small cities know more about their neighbors than people living in big cities? This I believe that in the small cities, people have a chance to see each other frequently. They live closer and they have more time to make friends. By contrast, in metropolises, people are occupied in work and study, so they rarely put attention to neighbors. Why do people rarely talk to each other? People infrequently talk to their neighbor because I think they don't have much time. They are occupied in their work and study, so uh, hardly to find the time and spare it to communicate with neighbor. Besides, they also focus too much on their digital device, for example, mobile phone and the computers. That makes them to have less time to communicate face to face with the others. How we could improve this? I think in many ways people can strengthen their relationship with neighbors. Firstly, they have to spare some time to talk, to meet the neighbor. Besides, uh, and to do this, they need to manage to use the time effectively. If you want to strike up a relationship with the others, you need to, strike up a relationship. You need to pluck up the courage to do this and having a friendly attitude that makes the good impressions on the neighbors. Do people help each other more than they did in the past? It's a tough question. I think it depends on the individuals. personality and the social background. With some people, they are healthy and wealthy and the kind-hearted, so they are willing to give you a hand when you need it. You need it, but by contrast, some people is not. They are tight-fisted and selfish, so rarely they do a favor for you. People watch TV a lot nowadays. How has it affected relationship among neighbors? I believe the TV exerts the negative impact on the relationship among neighbors. In these old days, people tend to take a strolling around the park and chatting with their neighbor. But now, people stay at home and become a couch potato. That stops them to build up the good relationship, the healthy one with their family and their neighbors.